Hi, boys and girls. So all you need to Miss Cortez can't speak. All you need to do for this lesson is be a really good listener, and we're going to practice problem and solution. So I'm going to read you a story called Whistle for Willie, and I want you to think about what problem Willie is facing and how does he solve that problem. So what's his problem? And what's his solution, just like we've been practicing all week, okay? Problem, solution. What's his problem? What's his solution? So the title of, the story is Whistle for Willie. And it's written by Ezra Jack Keats, and he's also the illustrator. This is a fiction story, so it's not real, it's made up. And yeah, let's get started. Whistle for Willie. Oh, how Peter wished he could whistle. He saw a boy playing with his dog. Whenever the boy whistled, the dog ran straight to him. Peter tried and tried to whistle, but he couldn't. So instead, he began to turn himself around and around and around. He whirled faster and faster. So what does Willie wish he could do? When he stopped, everything turned down and up and down and around and around. Uh-oh, he's getting dizzy. Peter saw his dog, Willie, coming. Quick as a wink, he hid in an empty carton lying on the sidewalk. Wouldn't it be funny if I whistled, Peter thought. Willie would stop and look all around to see who it was. Peter tried again to whistle, but still he couldn't, so Willie just walked on. Okay, so what's his problem? Peter got out of the carton and started home. On the way, he took some colored chalks out of his pocket and drew a long, long line right up to his door. He stood there and tried to whistle again. He blew till his cheeks were tired, but nothing happened. He's trying really hard. He went into his house and put on his father's old hat to make himself feel more grown up. He looked into the mirror to practice whistling. Still, no whistle. So what's his problem? What is he trying to do? When his mother saw what he was doing, Peter pretended that he was his father. He said, "I've come home early today. Dear, is Peter here?" His mother answered, "Why, no, he's outside with Willie." "Well, I'll go out and look for him," said Peter. Silly Peter. First, he walked along a crack in the sidewalk. Then he tried to run away from his shadow. Have you ever tried doing that? Run away from your shadow, what happens? He jumped off his shadow, but when he landed, they were together again. He came to the corner where the carton was, and who should he see but Willie? He's at the corner and he sees Willie again. Peter scrambled under the carton. He blew and blew and blew. Suddenly, out came a real whistle. Willie stopped and looked around to see who it was. He finally did it. "It's me!" Peter shouted and stood up. Willie raced straight to him. Peter ran home to show his father and mother what he could do. They loved Peter's whistling. So did Willie. Peter's mother asked him and Willie to go on an errand to the grocery store. He whistled all the way there, and he whistled all the way home. The end. So, what was Peter's problem? You don't have to write this down. I just want you to think. So think in your head. What do you think was Peter's problem? What was he trying to do? Okay. So Peter's problem is that he wanted to whistle at his dog, Willie, right? He had seen the other boy at the park whistle at his dog, and his dog would come to him. So Peter also wanted to whistle at his dog, Willie, but he couldn't. So what steps did he take to try to solve his problem? He can't whistle, but he wants to. He wants to whistle at his dog, but he can't. So what does he do? What are the steps? Think about it. What does he do? So he practiced whistling on his way home and in front of the mirror. So remember, he draws that line of chalk all the way home, and he tries to whistle when he's at the door. And then he puts on his dad's hat because he wants to look older, and he tries to whistle in front of the mirror. So those are the steps to his solution. He's trying to solve his problem. So he's trying to do something about it. And then what ends up happening? Does he solve his problem? He wants to whistle at his dog. So then he starts practicing. Is he able to do it? Yeah, so then his solution is that Peter blew, and blew until he was able to whistle. So the second time he runs into Willie, he's able to whistle, probably because he's been practicing so much. So his problem is that he can't whistle, and he wants to whistle at his dog. So he practices on the way home, and he practices in front of the mirror until finally his solution is that he's able to do it. Okay? So I want you to think problem and solution. When you have a problem, what do you do to solve it? And how do you solve it? Okay? That's it. That's it for today.